Now you already know this ain't no ordinary travel podcast. This is the place where stories stretch across oceans, where truth comes wrapped in laughter, and healing shows up between passport stamps. I'm Auntie Rae, your resident hot pants, wearing, globe-trotting, truth-telling storyteller. Some folks call me Raven, but for y'all, I'm Auntie Rae, and I've got a tale for you. So pull up a chair, pour yourself something warm or wild. As you know, I'm probably sipping on some shine, not just wine. Now let's take this journey together. Hey, y'all. For our final chapter of Season 2, it's bittersweet, but this is the last leg of my European adventure. This Carnival Cruise 6, Barcelona to Marseille, Livorno, that's your port for Florence and Pisa, Civitavecchia, Rome, Naples, and then a little detour to the mystical island of Malta before finally heading back to Barcelona, a Mediterranean grand finale, a true culmination of everything I'd experienced. As this final leg began, I said, "See you later" to my dear Ellis and his wonderful wife, June. Not goodbye, never goodbye. We've stayed in constant contact since we first met 2 years ago, and some connections like ours are just meant to endure. And yes, I was still on Carnival for this last stretch. Now, I'll admit, Auntie Rae used to give Carnival a bad name. Some folks, myself included, have affectionately, or maybe not so affectionately, referred to it as the Walmart on the sea. But Ellis, bless his heart, he schooled me about that attitude. He looked at me with all my talk of Princess, MSC, Virgin, Holland America, and Royal Caribbean, and he asked me pointedly, "Rae, what was the population ratio on those other cruise lines compared to this one?" He said, "Think about it. There's more of us who cruise this cruise line because there's more of us, period. It can get noisy, it can get rowdy, sometimes a little out of hand. Sure, there might even be a fight that winds up on the news. But it's our people coming together. We find acceptance here," he said. "It's not being bougie to be on another cruise line. It's great to have that experience. But when you look at it from our lives, these are our people. You can't choose your family members. You just have to accept them for who they are. And you know what? He was right. The Cellaways are really fun. The music is slamming. The comedians are great. The music in the clubs, always on point. We just have to look at it like you're going to a family barbecue. You take the good with the bad, enjoy the vibes, and keep it moving, because there's always going to be somebody or something that gives you something to talk about, good, bad, or ugly." On this particular cruise, I did things a little differently. I hung out in port a little longer, tried some new things. In Florence, for instance, yes, I finally made it into Florence proper. And I was on a mission, a Florentine steak. And y'all, I did that. That steak was bigger than my head, and it was glorious. I found a charming restaurant, and when my steak came out, the owner, a kind man, looked at me, started to slice it, and told me, "It's okay to share." That was my cue. At the table next to me was an exhausted American family with 2 cranky kids. The wife was having a major attitude, struggling to make herself understood. The owner, whose English was better, stepped in, saying, "You're in Italy now. We slow down. We don't get angry. We don't get upset." And she took a pause. She wasn't a person of color, but she took a pause and said, I am so sorry, I'm just really tired. The kids have not eaten, they're cranky. And you know what happened? In a lot of European restaurants, it's a family environment. He went to the kitchen, got his mama to come out, pull up another table next to them, move the kids closer to her. She entertained them, she fed them, and she told them, I am here, you are there, enjoy your dinner. And then when I offered, the husband was more than thrilled to help me finish that magnificent steak. We chatted for what felt like hours. The wine flowed, and the conversation was as rich as the food. I was full, y'all. Full from the trip into town, the meal, the conversation, the adventure, the sights, the sounds, the smell of lemons and jasmine everywhere. No need for dinner that night. Barcelona, where we started and ended this final leg, smashing. The sights, the sounds, the architecture, the colors, the whole vibe. I strolled past buildings that were just amazing works of art. But let me tell you, y'all, in Europe, you've got to be aware of these pickpocketers. These girls and guys, they are skilled, they are talented, they work in groups and teams, especially in crowded tourist areas. And they'll get you. All they need is an easy distraction because you know us wide-eyed tourists. We're never truly on our game. But Auntie Rae, she makes sure she has her protection on her. You're not putting your hand anywhere near me to take my money. You know how your big mama used to pull out their little handkerchief from their bra? Well, now they've got secure pockets you can actually clip onto your bra, stick it down inside, and it's RFD certified. No one's scanning your cards or taking your money. I saw one going down right in front of me in Barcelona, a girl trying to lift a gentleman's wallet. I got in between that situation real quick, like, nope, not on my watch. I distracted her, caused him to regain focus. I also travel with everything from Travel On. That's a brand of slash-proof handbags and luggage. The way they clip in, zip securely, and they even have this mesh material between their fabrics so they can't be slashed open or cut off your shoulder. That's my everyday go-to. I own at least 20 of their items, and I put them to the test. You can clip them to your chair securely. No one's cutting and grabbing. I always wear a crossbody. And you can't cut that strap. You can't get my credit cards when it's in my bag. None of it. My trips are not my first rodeo. If you're going to be a tourist, you need to not act like a tourist. Pulling out big bills in public. Always patting your pocket where your wallet is. You just sent a signal, honey. And speaking of appearances, while I tend to travel in the heat, being from the Midwest, I haven't yet tried those new jackets and vests with all the secure interior pockets. But I've purchased several vests that my brother loves to wear. They're handy, with outside pockets for tissues or chapstick. But inside on his person are hidden, secure pockets. He loves these things and he actually styles them up. A man looks really good in the denim one when he's wearing denim jeans and a long sleeve t-shirt, color coordinated all the way down to his shoes. He'd be styling. Throw a turtleneck with it for dinner. They come in all different styles. Some looking so dressy you wouldn't even know it's a secure travel jacket. You get some travelers who are just messy, like they haven't washed clothes in days. Just throw on whatever's clean. And then you have those tourists who still have an appearance about them, looking really good. It takes you a minute or two to figure out if he's a tourist or a local, because he cares about how he's getting off the ship. And me, I'm a Skechers chick. I do the sandals. I do the walking shoes because I had bunion surgery on both feet about 5 years ago and still suffer from tendonitis in my ankle. So I'm normally in a CrossFit shoe with arch support, but I own about 15 pairs now. So I'm color coordinated and styled out. Auntie Rae stays ready. Our cruise continued with a little detour to the mystical island of Malta. This place is truly unique. Imagine ancient golden-hued cities rising from the sea, a history layered like fine parchment, and waters so clear they sparkle like jewels. Malta felt like stepping into another time, an intriguing blend of cultures and stories whispered on the wind. It was unlike any other port. a charming and captivating stop before we finally headed back to Barcelona. And with that, this final leg of my European adventure came to a close. As the ship pulled away from Barcelona, a familiar somberness settled in my spirit. Having to pack to face the reality of heading back to the United States, where, let's be honest, travel and vacationing are crazy expensive. On this side of the pond, I feel alive. My ancestors are calling me back, calling me to something more. But where? That's the question. Where will Auntie Rae finally put down roots again? This entire journey, from the moment I was cut loose from Old Co., has been a quest for freedom, for purpose, for finding my tribe. And I'm getting close to early retirement, a dream I know I won't be able to achieve comfortably in the United States. So I'm on the search for a new home base, a place that allows me to sit down roots, to nurture my spirit, but also allows me to travel comfortably without breaking the bank. It's about finding my tribe, that community that embraces my energy, because you know when you experience love at first sight, for me it's energy. It's that magnetic pull towards kindred spirits, towards places that feel like home before you even step foot there. My ancestors are calling me back, guiding me, but to what corner of the world? I know that there's a place out there waiting for me, a place where the cost of living allows me to truly live, not just exist, where I can finally find my creative circle, my people, my true home base, and still spread my wings to explore. That next chapter is calling, and Auntie Rae is ready to answer. It's not goodbye, my darlings. It's just until next time. The search for my soul's true sanctuary has just begun. See, I told you it wasn't just a story. It was a moment. And y'all, moments like that, they linger. So take a deep breath, hold on to the lesson, the laugh, or the little piece of truth that found you today. And don't worry, we're just getting warmed up. This season, you've seen Auntie Rae navigate the world in her own spirit. But this road Auntie Rae is walking, it's rich with detours, revelations, and a whole lot of soul. Until then, keep your bags light, your heart open, and your sass unapologetic. I'll see you in the next one, love.
Barcelona sunrise, a bittersweet soft light. The final leg is ending, and in this long flight said see you later to Ellis in June, his loving guide. Some connections linger deep down, safe inside, still on Carnival's ocean, Walmart on the sea. But Ellis, he schooled me on what acceptance means to me. More of us are cruising, our people strong and true, like a family barbecue. Take the bad with the good with you. Grand finale playing as the sun begins to set. Lessons deeply etched on journeys I won't forget. A new horizon's calling across the ocean wide. A place to plant my roots with nothing left to hide. And Florence on a mission for a stake so grand and vast, bigger than my head, y'all. A memory built to last. A restaurant owner's wisdom, it's okay to share. Fed a weary family with such gentle loving care. Barcelona's vibrant pulse, a city I adore. But pickpockets are lurking right outside the door, travel on protection, clipped securely to my side. Can't cut this crossbody, nowhere left to hide. Grand finale playing as the sun begins to set. Lessons deeply etched on journeys I won't forget. A new horizons calling across the ocean wide. A place to plant my roots with nothing left to hide. My brother's stylish vest with pockets tucked inside, for tourists looking chic with nowhere left to stride. Sketches on my feet for comfort and for grace. A bunion surgery story, finding my happy place. Then Malta's mistle beauty, ancient golden by the sea. A history later deeply enchanting, wild and free. The quest for true freedom from Moko's binding chain, for purpose and for tribe, through sunshine and through rain. Back to the United States, where expenses run so high. Ancestors calling softly from whispers in the sky. Early retirement dreaming, a vision for my soul. A place to truly flourish, making my spirit whole. That magnetic pull of kindred, where energy aligns. A sanctuary waiting beyond the ocean lines. Not goodbye, my darlings, just until next time you see. The search for my true home